One. Welcome everyone to Tuesdays with Tim. We are looking back at 2025. We are simulcasting on the flagship station Momo Nomo and the sub outlet Ladder Daily Digest. We'll say, Tim, I'm in your living room all the way from Arizona today.
Wow.
You're a traveling man, Gene Judson.
He's a
Yeah.
traveling man.
I've got my Bangkok tourist rainbow elephant.
I
shirt
love
on.
that shirt. I received a gift yesterday from, let's see, how can I show it? Gave up eternal life for coffee. I received that from Sandy Barnhart.
And I got my Sanders shirt. Good, bad, tried. Linda gave it to me.
Nice.
I know, I love it. It's the best present I've gotten a long.
So we survived Christmas, and we'll see what happens in 2 days for the Eve.
New Year. Yes.
For New Year's
I
Day.
do need. We put a link in the poll in the chat for the bike model poll. Everybody go take it.
Yeah, Stephen Hassan has a poll that it's going to be pseudoscientific somehow or other, because when you self-select for science, it taints the data a little bit, but it is data still.
Yes.
I took it, and it told me that the organization to which I used to belong was 91% destructive.
See, and I had like 82 or 83%.
You
I
know,
didn't agree with all the questions, though. There were some questions in there that didn't quite fit my experience. Anyway.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
would
same
you
here.
be harmed if you left? Like,
Yeah,
it wouldn't-
exactly.
They're not going to come out after me with guns. I mean, who
At
knows
least
what
not
happened?
anymore.
Who
Not
knows
anymore.
what happened in 1870, right?
Yeah.
Or are you allowed to read other opinions and books and things? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
we're allowed.
Yeah,
We
we're
discourage
allowed.
it, but
It's
Right.
not encouraged. Right. Right. Yes. Exactly.
And then is the bishop's interview control you? Sort of. But it's not totally.
Yeah. Mormonism is more passive in that respect. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's actually probably one of the strangest cults that has been redefining itself for 180 years, and it's going to wind up being the Mormon Catholic Church, is what I predict.
Mike Quinn and I had that exact conversation in 1995 or 6
Wow.
at
it'll
Sunstone
be
West.
called Mormon of St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Because, the Mormon Catholic Church sort of rhymes a little bit. It's poetic with Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So Megan is off tonight. We miss her.
Yes, we do.
We miss her all the time, and
Terribly.
it's been a while since we've seen her.
That's right. On this show, we've seen her on her
this show.
channel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hint,
Right.
Megan.
Yeah, Megan.
And if
We
you
need female voices.
if you come to Tuesday nights to see Megan, then you need to come to Sunday afternoons and see her on the Salt Lake Expositor.
Yes.
Last week's show, 2 days ago, we reviewed, let's say, the top 10 stories of the past year.
She probably does have a hangover from her show.
Good. So did I have a cat appear in the background? I do happen to have a cat.
Uh-oh. I've got one in my lap, but I always have one in. Oh,
There's actually 10 cats in this house, but they don't all come out at the same time. I think that cat's called Willow.
oh, brother.
Hi, Janine Taylor. Let's see. Janine and I have to have a private conversation about some things, and it'll be very nice.
You have something to tell us, Gene?
About Janine Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Spill the tea.
So there's, like everybody views Mormonism differently. So really, everybody does cafeteria Mormonism, right?
Exactly.
And so it's the same thing with politics. But people end up voting a certain way because of something the candidate thinks. They think that the candidate has something for them, but it doesn't. It's not always, what ends up to be what they were hoping for. Like I voted for Trump. I voted for Trump in 2016 because I thought he would lean a little conservative. He had some things that he was sort of liberal on, and I thought he would govern well. But he never quite did what Nixon said. Nixon said in the primaries, you go right, and in the main election, what's that called? Not the primaries.
The general.
National election. National.
You
general.
Steer towards the center. And just like I heard Obama say the other day, that while he did have fringe elements on the left that he was aware of and that he, talked to and that influenced him, he didn't put those in his cabinet. And to a lot of people, it seems like Trump has put a lot of fringe elements in the cabinet. A guy that's Secretary of Defense calls it the Secretary of War, has Nazi tattoos, and that just doesn't. I didn't think I would ever see that.
There's a lot of things that I didn't think I'd ever see in this administration.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah. So we're going to look back at 2025 sort of as how things have shaped up for us. Randy, how did 2025 deal with you?
It kind of brought a new life into my old one, because starting with last year, a year ago, Gene, you had me on a podcast, and then I started guesting with you and Megan. And then I started my own channel, and I love this gig. I'm having a blast. I'm not real popular yet until, I don't have the kind of subscribers that I wish I had, but I have, got a few hundred, maybe heading towards 300 anyway. I would like that to be 30,000, but I guess that takes a minute, huh?
Yeah, you have to appeal to people, and then the people that you would appeal to have to hear about your channel.
Well, I was thinking as I was watching Megan and Kiki last night that they have several advantages over me. Number one, they're hilarious. Their personalities are incredible. They're smart. They are beautiful. That attracts people right there. You look at them and you look at me. Hell, I'd subscribe to them. They are witty, and they have,
and they're having a blast.
They're having a blast, and I'm so proud of them. But I do kind of wish that I could look like either one of them for just, give me a couple of years, and I'll go back to being the beast. Is that like, am I being like a patriarchal prick by saying that? That's not too politically wrong, is it?
To be a beast?
No, that they're so much easier to look at and watch because they're pretty, they're beautiful, and I've got this.
Yeah. I don't know. To some, yes, probably. Probably the ones that won't subscribe to your channel anyway.
True.
And so anyway, Tim, how has 2025 dealt you?
That's an interesting question. I don't know how to answer that. It's been
Thank you, Jesse.
it's just been a different year. We've been doing this now for a year and a months. All in all, I guess it was a good year.
What has the changes in the Mormon Church done in your eyes?
Two apostles dying.
So yeah, there's news, right?
Helen died.
Yeah. And so we could have prediction. Is it going to be somebody from the presidency of the 70?
Probably a lot of people are saying that Black 70, probably.
There's two. There's one from Africa, and then there's Elder Johnson that's just from, I don't know, I think America somewhere, African American. So they have two shots at it.
I think that would be a great move. Show a little diversity.
Well, and that would help them in Africa to some extent.
That's right. And where will the building of Zion be, Tim, in 20 years? In Congo? Will the states gather to the Congo for the gathering of Israel?
Yeah, then French will be rather than Spanish, be pretty much the language. It'll be French because that's what's spoken in. Yeah,
that's what I understand. A lot of French-speaking Africans are joining the church, so that French is like the fastest-growing language. French-speaking people.
Yeah, I think it's going to be until they get the internet, and then once they get the internet, well, all bets are off then.
Do they not have the internet, Tim?
Not as much as we do. Not as
pervasive.
It's probably spotty, unless if they get Starlink or something like that. But
yeah,
we know there's a lot of Nigerian princes, okay, and Nigeria is where the church is growing the most.
Maybe they'll substitute that to Nigerian prophets someday.
And most of the African members that want to befriend me on Facebook are from Nigeria without a job, asking me for money because I'm a rich American. Right?
Well, I got good news for you, Tim, and good news for you too, Gene. Neither one of you have aged a year since last year. You both
really
great. Yeah, you look the exact same.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Gene, you have grown a beard, but other than that, you're still a boyish guy.
Yeah, it's not how you feel, it's how you look.
Darling, you look marvelous. Okay, come on. Inside my head, I sounded exactly like Billy Crystal on Saturday Night Live.
Marvelous.
Darling, you look marvelous.
I just watched When Harry Met Sally last week again, and
Did you?
Yeah, one of the best movies. And I've been watching The Lord of the Rings the past few days on Max. Just anyway.
Nice. I had a new question pop up in 2025 that I'm going to make a video about. I'd love your input if, we've got plenty of time, right?
Right.
Okay. So the video that I'm making right now, just me alone, is about, since I was a kid, I've always been taught in church that everything was created in spirit before it was created physically.
Yes.
Everything. They didn't just
Yes.
specify just people,
Right.
dogs.
Right.
Everything that
Right.
lives on the earth was created in spirit.
Yes.
First of all, for us to be created, according to the Mormon church, God and a heavenly mother had to physically create our spirits. I don't mean physically, but they had to create our spirits through however they do it up there. Did they have to do the same with every single blade of grass, every ant, every mosquito, every fish in the ocean, every amoeba swimming around in a puddle? What about these? There's not even a number to put on it. Trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of insects. Were all those created in spirit? And by whom? And what happens when they die? We're going to go
Probably.
up to heaven and there's going to be swarms of mosquitoes because we don't have any blood for them to suck. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me, A, that they were created in a pre-existence. Like someone's going to say,
Well,
we need
okay.
a few trillion mosquitoes. Let's get them made.
See, the Mormon church isn't the only church that teaches that, though. Well, maybe it's only church, but it's not the only organization that espouses that everything was created spiritually before it was created physically.
Is that a Buddhist thing?
I don't know if it's a Buddhist thing, but in Richie's book, Return to Tomorrow, he had a near-death experience, and he describes seeing things before they were made, things that he was involved in his book, talks about seeing things that appeared later. And then with remote viewing, if you want to look at a place, you got to designate what time you want to see the object because things change. Like when I was reading in Paul's book about remote viewing, that Paul Smith, reading the enemy's mind, they looked at this one spot and it had water tanks, and the next time it didn't. So it just depends on
what point in time you arrive.
What point in time you're looking at. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. However, my question still lingers.
I know.
What happens to these gazillions of little tiny creatures?
They go back
when they
to
die.
where they came from.
So, Randy, I'll have to say anybody's belief, if you scratch below the surface, is going to start. There's going to be contradictions and wonderments. And so I'm an a-believist.
All we are is energy. This is just energy. If we're just energy, it can either be created or destroyed. So when
we're made out of star stuff.
Yeah, we're star. Yeah, exactly. We're made out of star stuff.
Yeah, I started questioning this when I saw so many bodies of people who have passed on in the funeral home, and they're just so void. There's no life. There's obviously no energy. But that got me to thinking, does everything go back to the earth and the energy lives on until the great resurrection? And do these little creatures resurrect? Will our doggies be with us? Because I don't want to lose. If my Chihuahua's not with me, I don't want to die.
You know, 1 year ago, we had an episode on Tuesdays with Tim that said the restoration of Mormon polygamy. And Michelle put Tim beside a bed full of wives. Of course, we were all below the bed. But the reason why that was wondered about is because the church had put in its, I don't know what they call it. What do they call that? The church likes not the scriptures, but the references, the things that people can
In their
use.
doctrine,
Rules.
you mean?
There was like with the library. The church has a library on their website where you can look up the books,
The gospel library.
the
Yeah.
gospel library, and lots of things. And they had included a cartoon sort of series on polygamy that told kids that
Right.
Polygamy was hard, but good thing Joseph Smith did it, right?
Some things are hard to do, or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember the exact quote.
And so that made us all think, if they're teaching the kids that polygamy was something that God wants and that was hard to do, but believers do hard things, right? Believers go on pilgrimages. Believers
Yep.
give up. They sacrifice things. They give up 10% of their money. They give up 30% of their time every week, right? To do the hard things that God wants them to. And so everybody was wondering, is like, well, are they telling the kids that polygamy was, something to be proud of, something to look forward to again?
Well, I really think that they were preparing the church for the return of polygamy.
Yeah.
Because what are they going to do in Africa with all the Africans who practice polygamy? When I was on my mission in Germany, we taught a Muslim who had 2 or 3 wives. He was very interested in the church,
That's right. I mean, they're going to have to at least allow it, right?
And I'd heard that they made exceptions in some countries for polygamy, but it wasn't well known. That's what my mission president told me. Yeah, he says it's not a lot, but yeah, there are some places. Because he had to check with Salt Lake. He says when he found out we were teaching this guy, because we had questioned, hey, he's got 3 wives. What are we going to do about it?
And I always thought the church should have supported gay marriage, and
Right.
and because saying all kinds of different marriages are good, right? And
Right.
then as a stepping stone for bringing back polygamy.
Yep.
But they didn't.
Well, that's what they were afraid of. That the church was really afraid that they would bring polygamy back. I think that's the real reason they fought same-sex marriage, is because they were afraid that it would bring polygamy back.
Yeah. Then the
Because
month
somebody
later,
could still challenge the government on it and probably win nowadays.
yeah, a
Maybe
month
not.
later, American Primeval came out, Tim, and you had a problem with the history from that.
I have a problem with a lot of things that guy makes, but
It's like a fictionalized version of the Mountain Meadows Massacre / Jim Bridger / Brigham Young.
none
Trilogy.
of it was historically accurate at all.
Well, some of it was. There was somebody named Brigham Young. There was somebody named Bridger, but they would always mess things up, right?
Well,
Instead of just telling the truth. It's almost like a Mormon was in charge of the history.
Well, great question that Jesse just asked, and I really wonder this. These countries where they practice polygamy and they're kind of grandfathered in, and it's part of their culture, what if they want to become LDS? Do they have to give up their wives?
Say
Right.
again.
Destroy the families.
Yeah, what do they do? What does the church do someone in Malaysia or
Right.
any country where they practice polygamy says, I believe in the church. I've gained a testimony. I want to be baptized along with my wives. We all want to be baptized. I wonder what they're told.
Exactly. Because Islam is failing in the countries it's in. It's failing. And that's where they're bringing it to America. That's where they're bringing it to other countries, because it's failing in the countries it's in. And they know it's failing. But still they're going to they want to push it on the rest of the world.
So, Tim, you wanted me to open up the stage
yet.
for people that want to come in yet? Not yet?
Not yet.
So after, and then, so somebody said that, I think I read an article where it said that American Primeval showed a lot of brutality, but people could argue that it was even more brutal.
Well, I'd say shooting men and then women and children was far more brutal than the series was. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have happen this year?
So then we went to Sunstone, not Sunstone. I mean, we went to Thrive St. George in March, and we got to meet Nemo.
Yeah.
We got to hear John Dehlin give the state of the Mormon Church, or
however somewhere in the UK, Gene, Nemo is doing a podcast saying, this year in 2025, I got to go to Thrive and I met Gene Judson and Tim Rathbone. He's celebrating in his celebrity knowledge.
So Tim gave him some Jammy Dodgers. I gave him some Jammy Dodgers. Yes, I did.
And
he should be giving you Jammy Dodgers.
No.
Michelle gifted Nemo with a painting, but Nemo, when I approached him, didn't want to have anything to do with me. So he is not telling anybody that he met Gene Judson. He might be saying, yeah, I shunned Gene Judson because he's an apostate.
Yeah, I understand. You do come across as very evil and scary. Yeah.
To a Brit. But yeah, I love Nemo's content. I love, Nemo seems like a really good guy. And I don't know what it was. It could be he saw a show I did with some people that he did a show with, where I jokingly said, "Who cares about Nemo?"
Oh.
And so
you think that got to him?
That could, I don't know. I mean, because he's friends with this other people that I brought on. I'm not sure if you were a co-host at that point.
Probably I don't think I twinkle in your eye. Well, when was it? Oh, yeah, we were co-hosting. Are you talking just this past summer?
No, last March.
Oh,
so, and I had done the show a couple of months before that with this.
I started co-hosting with you, I think probably in January, February.
Yeah. So it was a brother and sister, and they're really funny, and they're ex-Mos.
Yeah.
Were you in that?
Nope. I remember that one, but no, I wasn't.
I probably sent it to you so you could watch it.
Probably.
And so anyway, I mean, I got a hold of them because they were on. Nemo came on their show, and I don't know if he put them on his channel at all, but I invited him on my channel, and the guy just got way more views for having the brother and sister on our show than they got for having Nemo on their show. But not to brag, it's just they were starting out, but they're funny, and we were being funny, and apparently some people have senses of humor and some people are Brits. But I know that they have a dry sense of humor, and I have a dry sense of humor often. And so, it's no big deal. Nemo's awesome, no matter what. I would recommend people consume Nemo's products.
Everybody should listen to Nemo.
And so,
Yeah, he's a very intelligent podcaster for sure.
yeah, then Randy was able to hop on Megan's channel and do a few shows and build up her audience a little bit. That worked out for everybody.
And
Yeah,
then
that was great.
Then we had the trial of Lori in Arizona.
Yeah, the Lori Vallow trial.
We had the tragedy in Michigan
Well,
with
I was
the
thinking,
church being attacked and
and
shot up.
yeah, and then in June, the car accident in Africa.
Right?
Yeah, that bus accident, that's horrible.
Accident.
Where the church sent the Relief Society and the young women's presidents to them to.
And then of Susan goes to the Michigan shooting. Interesting.
Hmm.
Let's see.
The as far as doctrine goes, well, I shouldn't say doctrine, but I think another thing that happened in 2025 is the proliferation of child abuse, SA.
Right.
Every week.
Still going on.
Yes.
And every time I hear on the news, this morning I heard on the news about a guy here in Washington, in Kennewick, Washington, who was just arrested for doing that. And I would bet you my left arm that he's LDS. I would just bet.
93% of sex abusers are religious.
Right.
Man.
And because of that, the abuse that was going on, and at Sunstone, we saw the presentation of the architecture of abuse with Alyssa Grenfell and who else was in that? What's his name? The lawyer?
Tim
Hassan was the lawyer. That's right.
Tim Kossoff.
Tim Kosnoff. And they started a channel called Architecture of Abuse. And that was basically the very first show of the Salt Lake Expositor, was to promote the Architecture of Abuse channel.
And floodlit.org.
And floodlit.org. And so that's what happened in late summer.
They also put a bit of a kibosh on the lengthy list of temples that were supposed to be built, which kind of confuses me, because obviously God himself, or Jesus Christ, I guess, told Russell Nelson that these temples were to happen. But then he died, and the next prophet, who chats with God and Christ on a regular basis, what, did one of them change their mind?
So, Randy, they're dealing with all kinds of mosquitoes in the celestial kingdom. They don't have time to tell the prophets where temples are going.
They're too busy swatting at mosquitoes.
Everything has a reason. So anyhow, everything comes into full circle as well. And we got new garments. The church got new garments.
People standing in line all the way around the block just to get those new garments. Just freaking nuts. Nuts.
We did a show of what Tim Rathbun would do if he were prophet.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how that holds up the test of time. If Tim Rathbun truly is a prophet or not.
Now, I have a prediction for 2026. Either Eyring or Oaks are going to be the next to go. age-wise.
Death-wise?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say a little prayer and hopefully receive an answer before the show's done.
Okay.
Or maybe say two prayers, one for each of
One
them,
for each.
because we know that that will help them stay alive. If you say a prayer for them.
Yeah. I say a little prayer for you.
I know that there was a show about the Mormon Church's money and Christianity,
Ow!
and we did a show called "Mormonism Means Business." We talked about the value of the church and the dollar value. Then Elder Christofferson's younger brother, Wade, got in trouble.
No.
Got in a little trouble, didn't he? Again.
And,
It was a
and
repeat.
among all these things are more and more Mormon things. Randy, where do you find Mormons in the media? You find them on Dancing with the Stars. You find them on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You find them in jail with
And
Lori
the
Vallow
and the Bachelorette soon.
You find them in prisons. You find them on So You Think You Can Dance.
Yeah.
you find them at Starbucks,
Yeah.
and you
find
find them
them
at
in the
Swig.
CIA. Yeah.
Yeah, but Mormons and Mormonism has been all over the place pretty much since Romney started running, and they call it the Mormon moment, but I'm going to call it the Mormon media millennium. Mormons are just tickling the public's fancy. Now, so much that the church is coming back to Mormon, right? Like, hey, that Mormon brand is driving people to be interested in the church. Because look how crazy and wacky you could be and still be a Mormon. You can kill your kids. You can torture them. What else can you do? You can dance on Dancing with the Stars. You can do all the shenanigans of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. You could kill a whole bunch of settlers heading out west and just cover it up and say, oh,
It was Indians.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
so, yeah, Mormonism has really gotten everybody's eye. And the church thinks that all their baptisms that have been happening are because curiosity factor. And so they're bringing back Mormonism and Mormons.
You know, or else
I'd-
you can go ahead.
I'd
Tim.
like to know who all those 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds in Africa got permission from to be baptized, or are they orphans and they don't have any parents? That one picture of like 120 something baptized in Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember that. All the kids. That drove up some missionaries' numbers, huh?
yeah,
So there's been baseball baptisms, soccer baptisms. What other kind of baptisms, Tim, that were shady? Some elders were just going to the graves and just finding names and birth dates and putting dead people on the roster, is my understanding, just to get the numbers.
I
So
know
now
they tried-
what's the attraction to the Africans? Free education.
well, they also are told that they can join the church and get free food and free money, but then
Right.
they find out they can't, and they contact people like me and others on Facebook asking me for money, and I tell them to go to their bishop. He won't give me any money. You know, I need a job. Will you sponsor me to come to America? No. I just got a friend
Yeah.
request today from a African member of the church asking for stuff.
You know where else you'll find members? In the NFL.
Yep.
Puka Nakua receiver for the LA Rams.
And a coach, one of the coaches.
Yeah, Andy
Andy Reid.
Reid from the Kansas City Chiefs. Puka Nacua, it's funny because you know how they put their pictures up and they say what university or where they're from. You know, Dean Scoville, Pennsylvania State. Well, Puka Nacua popped up and he says Puka Nacua. And instead of saying BYU, which is where he's from, or you know where he started his football career, he gave his elementary school name.
Really?
And he could have said the Brigham Young University, but he opted not to.
I don't get the impression that he's proud of being LDS. That's a speculation. I could be
I'm
wrong.
sure his family is pretty strong in the gospel. His brother plays, I think, or played for BYU. And so, you know, but yeah, Trevor's saying it's kind of a trend for the pros to say they're either high school or middle school or grade school as kind of a shout out to their, because all their experiences, you know, made them who they are.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So I think next year we'll see. Oh, and the big settlement with all the 100 essays that they settled for in California.
Which is just the tip of the iceberg mostly, but at least it's something.
There'll be more next year. More and more will come out and be disclosed. And, you know, now that people are really paying attention to what's going on, you know, nobody has talked about what we talked about that they're doing in Australia about making the church occult illegal. You know, we're the only show that did anything on that a few weeks ago. Not one of the other broadcasters have touched that. So
Crazy.
I know. Well, no, we're the first. We can say we were first. What took you guys so long to catch up?
And I invited one of the main players in that, Simon Southerton, to come on and tell us about it.
Yeah.
He said that this is kind of a preliminary stage, and it still has to be like voted on or addressed by their legislatures or something.
Okay.
And so he didn't want to be public about it, in case it tainted something, in case somebody says, well, Simon Southerton said this on this other show.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, made a stink about it or something. So
it's more of a trial balloon then.
So it's possible that Rebecca contacted him as well, and RFM and John DeLynn, and he probably said the same thing to them. I don't want to talk yet about it.
Oh, Peter just says we're still trying to get that sorted, Tim. Aussies don't like religion types taking examples of people. Okay. All right.
Or maybe making examples of people. Or
Yeah, okay. All right, Peter. Thank you. Yeah, Australia and New Zealand exposed the offshore bank accounts of the church. Yes. Oh, that was another thing. Financial stuff.
a lot
You'd
of
think
revelation.
the Mormon Church would have off-planet bank accounts, like a Kolob
That's right.
savings
Off-planet.
and loan.
Yeah. Hey, that would be a good name for a bank.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, the JWs are in the government side as well.
Ah,
Well, and we know that there also is an IRS investigation going on for the other church. It just hasn't been public yet. At least that's what Widows Mike says. Something's going on. All right. Come on, Flower. Come here. Come on.
Tim, we've never had a birthday party for you.
Yeah, you did.
Did we have a
think
birthday
we did.
party for you?
I don't remember. Maybe.
We had an
We did.
anniversary party.
Yeah.
We had
we
a
had
big
a-
birthday bash for him, and I sent him a cake and several gifts. And
Oh yeah.
do you remember that, Tim?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I do.
Great
I do.
celebration for Tim's
Yeah.
birthday.
Great celebration. It was a good birthday.
Tim got a chance to come to the Gene and Michelle Judson house.
Yes.
That was one of the biggest things of the year for Tim.
That was a big thing for me.
Well-
Anything to get out of Bakersfield.
Anything to get. Yes.
And Gene and Michelle Judson had the opportunity to come to the Randy Watts house. That's
That's
Randy
right.
C. Watts' house.
See, next time you visit Gene, I will drive up there to see you, Randy.
And Randy was
Wonderful.
going to go to Megan's house, but it fell through
Yeah, my son got COVID.
COVID.
So
Oh boy.
yeah, that was a $600 loss. I already had everything reserved, and
Sucky time.
they're not going to honor that.
No, Kinder Kim. I did not bring a cat to Gene's house. Gene has a cat at his house.
Oh, and Randy C. Watts got to meet Maven Brody in
Yep.
2025.
You went to Portland and visited Maven.
Yeah.
Took her to dinner.
Yeah. Took her to dinner, took her back to the hotel where we sat in the lounge and had a great visit. Got to know a lot about Maven.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's everything that happened in the year 2025 right
That's
there
right. That's right.
in a condensed little ball of tea.
That's right. So anyhow, well, Tim, are you ready to invite everybody else on?
Okay. I would like people to be more conscious of each other. Last week was kind of a free for all, and I didn't appreciate it because I really want to talk about favorite Christmas music songs. So if we kind of stick to the subject, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, people can join the show and tell us about some important event that happened in their life last year, maybe.
What was important to them?
Yeah, or how the news of the church either made them feel sad or happy.
Yeah.
You can say.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Castro, 8360, asks if maybe 2026 is the year that the church starts implementing programs to vet those who are working with the kids in the church, take a closer look at their history, and something they've never done that I know of.
I
That's
right.
doubt it.
And
I
I'll bet
doubt
they
it.
have stuff planned, but I'll bet that they're not going to do anything until after the adjudication of Wade Christofferson, because the church doesn't want to ever to make it seem like that the church is doing something because something's in the news, right?
Yeah.
Just like when all the women who protested for priesthood, and what else happened? And Bishop Sam in Texas,
Donaldson.
where he protested about children.
Sam Young.
Oh,
Sam
yeah.
Young. So he gets excommunicated for trying to do stuff to alert the church and church members to the fact that children need to be protected, and the church excommunicates him, and then they quietly implement many of his reforms that he
So,
suggested.
Jay, I don't think that church will ever change their stance. Well, okay, maybe when it happens to one of their own family members, they might do something. I mean, how close does that be with Wade Christopherson? Like, I've been reading posts in Reddit about Wade's other brother, the one that's gay, how unhappy he is being single, and he wants to kind of go back to the lifestyle that he left. So we'll see.
I'm pulling up a video for y'all.
Is it a video that's going to demonetize us?
No.
Okay.
No, it has to do with what we're talking about. But don't wait on me because that puts pressure on me.
Yeah. So, Tim, what types of things do you think the church might implement this year as a
Well, they've
change?
already lowered the age of missionaries to 18 for women.
So people wondered about that because that came on the eve or the day
The same
after
day.
of Wade Christopherson getting arrested.
Yeah.
And I'll bet they were going to do it at like maybe the end of the year or the beginning of the year or something. And then they were able to move it forward because it's really something that doesn't matter whether you do it this month or next month because most people aren't planning on going on a mission early. I know that some mission president's daughter got special permission to go on a mission at 18. And I think
Oh,
Rebecca Biblioteca reported on that last year.
My mission president's daughter was allowed to serve a part of a mission, the last bit of her mission. And I think she was only 16.
Wow.
16 or
Wow. Well, that's another news item is all the missions that were added.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
like
55 missions.
55. All the missions that were combined.
Yeah, they're more than likely a lot of them aren't opening up any new territory. They're being carved out of other existing things, but
Or they're making them smaller to
making them
handle more.
smaller.
Like
And
we
also,
had-
it's a payback for a lot of wealthy Mormons to get a cush mission president job.
right.
There's
Yeah.
only so many 70s they can be in area 70s and different things like that.
Get their second anointing.
Get their second anointing.
Yeah.
And so, are you having a hard time presenting something, Randy?
No, I'm looking for the particular story.
You're just being
I'll
patient
just-
on it.
I thought
Okay.
it was, usually they announce things around conference time or the end of the year. But when they came out with that change in missionary ages, it pretty much was, oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was weird. The 55 new missions were announced like 4 months before they were even going to start opening them.
Yeah. And then the way they're announcing temples now, just at firesides or state conferences to keep it on the QT.
Right. And, Randy, even if he was a member of the church, would probably not care less if San Jose, California got another temple. Right.
That's
And so,
true. It's just a waste of money, in my opinion.
but even if you were a true believing member, you wouldn't really care about another California temple or something like that. And so I think it's a good strategy to do the announcement in the locale of where the temple's coming, to have like a fireside and do things. Plus, they can also wink, and nod about Jesus around the corner coming. Jesus is coming, right? This is the work.
Yeah.
The work is hastening. And they can say all these off the books comments, getting people all fired up and doing strange things because Jesus is coming.
Yeah, let's get our tithing paid. Let's be sure that we, adhere to everything the church says because Jesus is coming and we don't want to face the judgment if we're not full tithe payers.
Jesus is coming. Look busy. Look busy.
Kinder Kim says that since it's going to be the Mormon church is Christianizing itself, they could just claim the California's 26 historical missions and just let it go.
That's good.
Just add those to the coffer. That's a funny one.
It's a good one.
because they're missions. They could even call mission presidents to them and just for like a vacay.
Right on.
Because what Utahn wouldn't want to live in a nice California coastline town?
Especially when the church is paying for it.
Maybe someday
Well-
they'll buy those missions.
Harold
The
White is
video that I was
celebrating. Go
the
ahead,
video
Randy.
that I'm going to show you, and there's so many of them similar that it's going to take me forever to find it, but it's of this visitor in a ward, on undisclosed ward, and he goes up in fast and testimony meeting, very nicely dressed, beautiful family, and he said, "Hey, we're visiting this ward. We're not in this neighborhood, but I wanted to bear my testimony and let you know that I'm working hard to try to get the bishops in the church to not interview, 11-year-olds without a parent present." And man, they stood up and they took him right down off the pulpit like that.
Wow.
I didn't want to hear anything about that.
What we do now.
You've seen that as part of a story, and so you're trying to get to the right spot.
Yeah, it's a video. It's on YouTube. But that's okay. It's just sometimes it has more of an impact if you get to see it.
And I have sort of an announcement, and I don't know if Exmo Joe will come on the show, but he's going to do a show right after, at the top of the hour after our show. And he's going to talk about a situation, and I don't know if Tim, if you've heard about this,
No.
but people are talking about corruption in the in Minnesota for daycare centers, and somehow some Mormon-y podcasts are taking up that flag and trying to promote that, Minnesota Democrat governor is doing a bad job. And Joe's going to show some receipts that Minnesota is already cleaning those things up before the saber rattling of the Christians and Mormons come into town even.
Oh,
And so
Wow.
way to
he's
go, Joe.
back on that.
Cool, Joe.
He might come on the show. And what do you think about snake handling, Randy?
I think that if that's what blows your skirt up, have at it. And
I'd
all the
almost come to
snakes you want.
church just to see the snake handler get bit.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
I was hiking in Arizona at Usury Pass. There's a trail there called the Wind Caves. And I was just starting my hike when here's a group of foreign tourists who were hiking up there, and everyone was stopped on the trail. And this really kind of bugged me because once I get going, I don't want to stop. But I saw why they were stopped when I walked up. Here was a rattlesnake right in the middle of the trail. And it was, coiled, and no one wanted to pass it. You couldn't go, there was no way to go all the way around it. There was only one side. So I went to the side. I didn't even say anything. I just walked over to the side, and his tail was sticking out from the coil. So I just reached down and grabbed that tail. It was rattling, I just reached down and grabbed it and swung it and flung it out, probably 20 feet away. And people thought I was out of my freaking gourd. But I know that it couldn't bite me, not the way that the way it was coiled. And when I grabbed the tail, it couldn't get to me because I was pulling the tension. So he couldn't spring it. Hi, real for life.
Hello.
Hello.
That was my snake handling experience.
Wow.
Well, you have some training.
I was a hero. I was a hero.
Amazing.
They thought I was a crazy man.
Yeah, but you did it.
I did it.
I just figured I'd pop on real quick and say the couple biggest things of my 2025 is purely I decided I have a voice worth sharing. And that was huge for me to be able to be willing and to do this. It doesn't come as easy as it seems. It takes a lot for some of us to do this. And then the number two thing is I'm coping and dealing with rage and anger and betrayal on a level that I've never experienced. And
I've
it's
been watching your
beautiful
videos on Facebook. Yeah.
because I'm living
Yeah.
in it and I don't have
Yeah.
to do anything with it. Who knew? You could just have the feeling. And so I'm grateful to be no longer pushing that side of me away because that's what the church taught me. And that was what I had to do. I couldn't be angry. I couldn't. I've got decades of it. And I was terrified I would snap someday, you know? And now I know that, no, I'm not going to snap.
That's right.
But I can be
Anger's
a little
part.
scary now. And it's okay.
Anger is part of being a human.
Mm-hmm.
And Jules was, Real for Life was on our show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's
course.
one of the first
So was
times I was
Jules.
able to
Hey, what's going on?
do this.
Hey,
But I'm
Jules.
just gonna pop off real quick. I got a grandson coming in from Denver, so he'll be here in about an hour. So I got some things to do. But thank you for what you're doing, because Jean, you help the people like me get a little started. So keep it up.
Hey,
That's right.
Rio, how did
Yeah.
your market go on Christmas?
Well, it's kind of funny. I didn't sell. I made $80, but I didn't sell a single craft. Everybody that took the free stuff refused to take it for free and gave me money. So I made
Wow.
money off of all my free stuff.
Oh, nice.
It's quite funny, but I'm only about, I think, a couple hundred away from being able to have my secondary location. And it's going to be amazing. And I will share more in 2026 on that because it's worth it, what you guys are doing to help people like me. And
Oh,
I love
good for you.
watching
Thank you.
and learning from you. So
Thank you.
And I appreciate Jay Castro. I've seen Jay show up on almost everything that I watch. And so thank you, Jay.
I'll talk to you guys
Absolutely.
later.
Bye,
Okay.
Rio.
Bye-bye.
Jules, anything that you can think of that happened in 2025 that affected the church and its membership? Jules, can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I stepped away for a moment. But my big thing in 2025 was first my channel. I think after meeting Joe, it was excellent because I was in the Exmo community just myself, and then slowly it's just helped me realize more, what I was really in, and then meeting all of you guys, it's just kind of expanded that community, and meeting more people, even just through his Church of Korihor, has been
Did you
awesome.
give one of the sermons?
I've given two.
Two?
And
Oh, really?
yeah, two sermons I've given. Yeah, and I told him to save number 51 for me. So that should be coming up in the next 2-3 months. It's
What
my
is
number.
that? Oh, 51. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Well, Joe's a
like
good
Area
man.
51. So yeah, I'm gonna, I told him to save that sermon for me. And it's just been overall, I've liked coming into this space. I hope just to expand it more next year. On my channel, I've done I've been breaking down the Gospel Principles book throughout the year, to show how, because that's like, I call it the Mormon for Dummies book, but that way I use it so people could just learn the basic, and then I could show how culty it really is,
Well, you actually don't have to
Oh.
call it Mormon for Dummies. You can just call it Mormon.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just been a a good year overall in getting into this space, and meeting a great bunch of people. Hopefully, this year brings more to come where I can meet all of you in person. Hopefully Sunstone or something.
Thrive.
Well, I think we should make a pilgrimage to. I know you moved to California, to the West Coast. What city are you in now?
Best city in the world, America's finest city, San Diego.
Oh, nice. I love San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be too far for Gene and Tim.
No,
And
I could take the train down there.
if you'll fix lunch, Jules, we're going to come see you.
Oh, we'll do carne asada here.
All right.
I'll take it.
So I have one San Diego story that I'm aware of that when I was a youngster, a little bit old, a toddler, like maybe 16 or 17 months old or something, we were on a trip, a family trip, and we happened to be in a hotel in San Diego. And we took baths or showers or something, and they had one of those wall heaters. And I kind of, while I was drying off, backed up into it and burned a waffle pattern in my butt.
Are there scars, Gene?
They have gone, as far as I know. But so my parents would bring that up in conversation after we returned from the trip. And they would say, Gene, come over here. Tell our guests where you burned yourself, right? Thinking that I would say my bottom. And I said, in San Diego.
How old were you, Gene?
Like 17 or 18 months, something like that. A toddler. Old enough to talk.
yeah, I
in
guess.
San Diego, you just got to watch out for the tanks on the road. No, you guys have probably seen that video before.
What,
The
the
what
guy
train?
Featuring America's finest, rounding up the scoundrels that have like picked our fruit and vegetables and have worked at
You know
in our
what? I haven't
restaurants.
seen much of it, but I've heard it has happened at some of the schools nearby the house.
You also need to watch
Which-
out for the sun in San Diego.
Mhm.
So I have to
That's
watch
where I
out for
went.
the ice and the sun.
That's where I went on my honeymoon,
Exactly.
which was in
Yeah. Oh.
May, and we were on the beach way too long,
Burnt
and
to a
we
crisp.
got burned so bad. We were burned so badly that neither of us could move,
It's also
and
that.
that really puts a
It's also
damper
the
on
sea
your
breeze
honeymoon.
that gets it. Yeah.
Right, wind
Is it?
blown, wind dry. You get wind blown and crispy from that as well. But yeah, that's
Wow.
not a good move for a honeymoon.
No, it like I said, it put a real damper on the events of the honeymoon. So, yeah. I mean, it must be the sea breeze because we were both from Arizona, and
Yeah.
but for some reason we burned like
It-
and
That ocean
must be
breeze
that
will
breeze
burn too.
and the sand reflecting up.
Trevor here talking about the San Diego Temple. I ride by it twice a day on the way to work and home.
Looks like an ice palace.
I mean, I have to give it for the architecture. It is a nice temple, but
Oh, it's beautiful.
what goes on. We all know what goes on inside.
I've been inside
do.
doing what they do inside.
I've been inside. That's why I did baptisms for the dead for the first time. I was endowed I was endowed in Orlando, sealed in Orlando.
Well, Tim, you're always talking about how well endowed you were in the temple.
And look, Jade talking about going to SeaWorld in 2006. I've worked at SeaWorld for 9 years.
When was that?
It was from 98 to 90, from 89 to 96. I worked at.
You would have been there. You would have worked there when I was there with my family.
Yeah, I was there when several of the incidents that you've seen at SeaWorld happened, like when one whale attacked the other. I'm trying to think what's another incident that happened. Oh, we had one of the activists chain themselves to Shamu Stadium, stuff like that. Had to see a lot.
What did you do, Jules, for SeaWorld?
I was in operations, park operations, and merchandising.
So you would operate on the whales?
No. I had a friend. I got him a job in operations. That's just basically management of the park. At one point it was admissions department. Other times it would be like working the front of gate area, running that whole area, quality control of the whole park, like doing the count of people, which there's actually equations on how to do it. There's like multiple systems that you have to put together. Then you have to subtract the amount of people and add how many have come back in, because there's, the turnstiles are counting it. And then you come up with how many have been in for the day and how many are in the park at that time. And they like to know.
I've wondered, Jules, because, I worked at Disney, and Disney, all of the amazing restaurants they have there, none of them serve duck. None of them serve anything that can be associated with the characters. Did SeaWorld have any seafood restaurants where they would eat fish and stuff?
Yeah, they actually had one.
Really?
Yeah. It was one of the ones where they would actually have people come and serve you.
They just didn't have
nice.
seal or killer whale steak.
Yeah, they wouldn't have eel or killer whale. Well, I don't know. Sometimes
spotted out.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people used to always joke around. They'd say, after a whale died, you'd notice they'd do this seafood in the employee cafeteria. They would do a seafood fry.
Right. Well, a whale of a stew for you guys.
Okay. Kinder Kim mentioned that she was drenched. I was drenched at SeaWorld with my kids.
Yeah.
We sat in the front row on purpose to get drenched.
The splash zone, as they call it.
The splash zone. My daughter, Sarah, called Shamu shampoo.
Yeah, so many people do. Yeah.
We did it intentionally.
Yeah.
So next week we're thinking of doing New Year's resolutions, but we can instead of looking back now, we can look forward. What do you think might happen next year? And it could be either globally or United States or Mormony or whatever you want.
Well, I think one of the biggest things when I started seeing what we saw with the ice raids, I am already seeing it start happening. I thought that they were going to go not just to, say, the Hispanic people, or, I knew what they're going to start doing is once they started there, they were going to go for another marginalized group, then another marginalized group. And
pretty soon it'll be ex-Mormon podcasters.
Yeah, next it could be, or anti-Christianity podcasters or anti-religion. And if it's like, and make what the white cisgender heterosexual United States that they want, and that's the big thing behind the talk Jenny and I did, because of the big stir up right now with the trans
I'm going to call it
community.
white Christian Nazism.
Yeah, right. Christian nationalism, cisgender heterosexual, and that's what's changed a lot on my channel because of what they said, and about trans influencers. They're considering them the same as McVeigh. So.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. I have the memo right off Pam Bundy's desk. Well, not the exact memo, but it's
a copy of it.
Yeah, a copy of it that I saw online. And Jenny and I went out down the rabbit hole, and it's checked every government website, and it's true. So for now, lay low, and so what group is next?
That's right.
And then for myself, I told you guys last week my resolutions, and we'll talk about them again next week. There's triathlon #1 sign up. So
cool.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Really? You signed up?
It's right there, black white. That's my USA Triathlon card. That's the sign up for the triathlon. I already got my wetsuit over there. It came in the mail the other day.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to do the inverse of that. I'm going to do the 1/3 of Alon. I'm just going to do
the
1/3 of
crown.
something.
The Triple Crown of Triathlon here in San Diego. So,
that's great. I told Amanda that I was going to participate in a triathlon as soon as they make the swimming, just swim across the swimming pool, the biking all downhill, and the running just downhill too.
Do you know that there are, and my cousin and her husband participated in one in Arizona, and you said you lived in Gilbert. Of all places, they live in Gilbert, Arizona, and and it's across the pool, back and forth, like across each lane, and then it's a short bike ride and a short run.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, probably not short enough for me, but
Does anybody remember back in the 90s, there was this swimmer from some African country, and he practiced in a swimming pool, and he was in the Olympics, and everybody was cheering him on. He trained in a small swimming pool. I can't remember his name or where he's from. It was just one of the most inspiring stories from the Olympics that year. Was this guy trained in a swimming pool, and he made the Olympics. So anything's possible.
That's amazing. Actually,
I know it was a really to me that was I remember all these years later. It was back in the 90s sometime.
Yeah, I mean, all those stories are inspiring, like the Jamaican, like Cool Runnings, Jamaican bobsled team. You'd never think that, Jamaica would have one.
We could do a sledding team. We could be a sledding team if we signed up and we started training now.
We could do. We just put down the front of it. We'll put Exmo because isn't it? They're having the Salt Lake Olympics again.
Oh, that's right. Not this. Wait, the Winter Olympics this year, where are they being held?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Hey, Jules, what does it say? The neon sign.
That says that's the name of my channel on there. It says Jules Gems X Area 5T1. I know it with the light on in my room, and I think since it's also because you can have different settings on the color too.
Oh, this year they'll be held in Italy. The Olympics are in Italy this year.
Yeah, this year they're in Italy. I think in 4 years they'll be in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Again,
yeah. We could build a bobsled team by then.
Yeah, you're going to have to be the pusher, Jules, because you've been training for, the triathlon.
Yeah, and remember we have to wear those thin suits.
I gotta drop a few more pounds and then I'll feel okay.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Well, my New Year's resolution is not to order any macadamia nuts in 2026 because I am an addict. I have not been through therapy, but I freaking love macadamia nuts.
Well, you guys know that this is mine, and I was back up to
Yes.
12-ounce cans. I bought mini cans the other day, the little 8-ounce ones. So I can cut down.
What is that a can of?
It was Mountain Dew, right?
Yeah, Mountain Dew.
Okay.
So,
Gene, what's your resolution?
is he frozen?
Yeah, I think he's having a stroke. I am not sure.
Gene, are you frozen? He's shaking his head.
It's a bobblehead. Maybe
My
we can have
computer's
him cut
running
down
slow.
on ice cream.
I was trying to get this up to show everybody your channel
Mm-hmm.
so Randy can see it.
Nice. I love it. So you, I don't know how long you had to shop to find a store that carried a neon sign with the name of your channel on it, but
I
it
had a
must have
custom-
been forever.
I got it custom made. Yep.
I love it. I need a Momo Nomo sign.
You want me to tell you honestly where to get it? Most people hate shopping there, but that's a Temu sign.
Oh, no
Oh.
kidding.
Yeah. Cost me like $25 to make it or something.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. Just
Very
takes a
cool.
little longer because of the shipping and all that, but I loved how
Right.
it came out.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a kind of a fanatic when it comes to light up stuff. I just love gadgets that light up.
Me too. I've got the check engine light here. I haven't turned it on, and it's actually on my car right now. Got the flying saucer, the alien. I mean, so
Did I show you guys the new Momo Nomo logo? With that? Yes, no, maybe.
I haven't
No.
seen it.
Okay, let me
Not
show
on
it to you.
live TV yet.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Thanks.
I think people would enjoy the Book of Mormon more if they had coffee while they're reading.
Yes. Yeah, with their feet dipped in a pool of molten lava.
Yeah. Who helped you with that one?
Is that an outer
Nobody.
dark?
That's my creation there.
That was yours?
Me and Chat GPT.
cool.
Devil in a diaper.
Cool.
Sounds like a movie, doesn't it?
It does.
Could be a
Devil
In
movie.
a
in
world.
diaper. Oh yeah. Randy as a kid.
Right.
I actually had a friend that little devil reminded me of back in the 90s. We were all here where I grew up here in Chula Vista. We had a mini truck club, and he had a red truck, and he called it the Little Red Devil.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and he had a mural of a little red devil on the back.
That's my where this idea came from of little Momo Nomo. When I was a kid growing up in Tempe, Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
there's a huge power plant there on University. And anyone who's familiar with Tempe will know what I'm talking about. It's right by ASU. And I swear, as a little kid, I remembered every time we'd drive by there, I'd see this little devil that looks exactly like my logo running around in this big, in this big power. You know, it was all metal welded everywhere and smokestacks and everything. And I swear I would see this little devil hopping around that power plant. Now, it might be something my brain is doing because it's the ASU Sun Devils. And that
That's
looks
what I was
kind of like
thinking.
their logo a little bit. But I would swear that. So anyway, I went on a date with a girl, and somehow this topic came up. This is years and years later. And I told her about that, and she said, "Oh, no way. I remember the same thing." So I don't know. Can we both have a false memory like that? Anyway, that's Momo Nomo. That's the devil I would see hopping around this big electrical plant thing, generator, whatever it is.
Yeah, the dirt devil vacuum. Kinder Kim is saying.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, buddy. So, Tim, what is your thinking about a New Year's resolution?
So we're going to do resolutions next week. We should be talking more about predictions for next year.
Oh, I thought
Right.
you said, let's talk about.
Both kind of.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
everybody do a prediction for
predictions
next year, and
are-
then I had computer problems, and so anyway, we could talk about our New Year's resolutions and the future of 2026 as well next week. But Tim, do you have any predictions?
Like I said, Oaks or Eyring, one of those two is going to go.
Right.
And
Okay,
maybe a
Let's hope that
third.
Randy's prayers work on both of them.
I'm gonna head out. We'll see you
Okay.
guys next
Bye.
week.
Thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Thanks for dropping in, Jules.
Okay, no problem.
And I'm
I
going to
think-
predict that girls are allowed to pass a sacrament.
Yeah, that would be my next one.
Wow.
They'll take more responsibility.
As another
Uh,
baby step for
I
women.
think that
talking-
makes perfect sense, but I don't see it happening.
Are we talking just church or world?
For any predictions, you could predict anything you want. You have a world
I
prediction?
think that Impotus is going to be dead within 6 to 8 months.
I hope you're. I guess I shouldn't say that.
Considering his health issues that he has, I think this year or within the next 18 months, we'll have disclosure on UAPs and UFOs.
Really?
Yeah.
Which has been a really good prediction every 16 or 18 months for the
Right.
last 20 years.
Right.
What do you think about
Like
will-
Jesus. The aliens aren't as bad as Jesus, but they're giving Jesus a run for his money for being late for dinner.
Will
What's
we
your
have any
question?
revelation on that? What is it? MX13 something?
3i Atlas?
3i Atlas.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They
Cliff
might
High,
be shooting an MX13 at it.
Cliff High still says it's aliens. Everybody else is saying it's a comet. But we'll
What about
see.
the professor from the is he back down now?
You mean backyard professor Carey?
No. The Yale or Princeton
Oh,
professor.
Yuri, not Yuri Geller,
Uri Geller's dad, son.
not Yuri. What's his name?
But anyway, he said there's on a scale of 10, it's a 4 that it's alien.
Yeah,
But I'm thinking he should downgrade it.
we'll see. We'll see.
Avi
what
Loeb,
happens. Avi Loeb, yeah. Very good. Who said that? Was that Michelle?
Trevor,
Trevor. Okay.
Hellfire
Um,
Angels is here.
Hellfire Agency? Where?
He's in the chat.
In the chat. Hey, Hellfire. You're going to be on in what? 29 minutes? You going on, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Come on, Joe. Come on in for a minute, Joe. Jump on in.
Yeah,
Your
put the
ears
you
must
can.
have been burning because
Put
we
the
were
link.
talking about you.
And so you could
I
give
think
us
I think
just a
there's going
quick
to be
heads
a.
up. It could just be 3 minutes or something. Yeah,
I
so
think
3
there's
minutes from
going
now,
to
when you're
be.
doing your show, I showed everybody. I shared a link to your show. Although there's 2 shows that show up on your channel, I hope that I did the right one. I know
I think.
StreamYard does some weird stuff, and here's Joe coming on to tell us about it real quickly.
Okay, Joe.
There he is. How you
Give
doing,
us
Joe,
the
man?
scoop, man. Give us
Good.
the
Can you guys
scoop.
hear me okay? I got my new microphone, my new headset.
5x5. Region 5x5.
Sweet. We're going to do some
Wow.
serious hardcore podcast.
When you moved
Okay.
your mic, we couldn't hear you anymore.
Just went in and out.
Can you hear-
Now we can.
No.
Maybe it needs to be closer or something. I don't know.
And now?
Now,
There
perfect.
you go.
And
Yes.
sweet.
I love
Sexy.
that. I love that.
Excellent.
Do you hear yourself speaking in there too?
I do a little bit, yeah. It gives
Yeah.
me a little bit of feedback. I'm not sure if it's just because if it's feeding me back like a monitor signal or if it's just that it's not sound they're cheap and they're not soundproof or sound what do you call it? Noise canceling. So what are the other?
It's very clear.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
Joe, set the stage. What's going on in the world, and why are you going to do your podcast in a half hour?
I usually go live on Wednesdays. You guys know I don't like to conflict with Tuesdays with Tim, but my atheist heart chakra was glowing about this new story that's come out from Nick Shirley, who I didn't even know was Mormon. But boy, if the Mormon podcasters aren't going out there talking about how wonderful it is that this guy who just got off of his mission to Chile 2 years ago has come out with this video that's being retweeted by JD Vance and Elon Musk about
Wow.
$100 million worth of fraud that he's uncovered in Minnesota.
Right.
Only
Right.
to come to discover he's full of shit. He didn't discover shit. And so it's like
Oh.
yeah. And so it's like, and I'm like, and yet what I did, I like go through it. So I found some a post where somebody's like, here's how you know that this isn't true. And I investigated it. The guy got it like partly right. And we don't know the whole truth. I don't claim to know the whole truth. But there were some interesting things that got picked out here. And the thing that seems, as I looked into it, the thing that was consistent was this thread of racism and white nationalism that was weaving through it. And Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, called it out. And so of course they all fell to pieces going, oh, anytime somebody tells you people, anytime a white person tells you guys facts, you call white supremacy, you call racist, you say, and I'm looking at it and going through this guy Nick's channel, Nick Shirley's channel, and going through the evidence he's putting. No, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clearly white nationalism. And these guys over at Latter-day Saints, also known as the Stick of Joseph, you remember those guys? They're in there echoing the same rhetoric. Greg Mattson from Quick Media, same rhetoric, and they're all talking about this guy and Nick Shirley and spouting off how this has nothing to do with racism, and then say some terribly racist crap. And I'm sitting here, okay, we're gonna have to address some of this. So,
Who is he saying that is perpetrating the white nationalism? Who's he pointing the finger to?
Who's Tim? Who's Tim pointing to?
Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
No, Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley is the nationalist. He is. Yeah. He's
Who is he saying caused the fraud?
He's saying that Somali immigrants are causing all this fraud.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And he's making the case that it's because of Islam that they're doing it. And look, as your resident favorite ex-Mormon atheist in Korihor, as I'm sure you can all say, I'm no fan of Muhammad. I'm no fan of the Quran. I don't like it. Okay? But to call every Muslim or call every Somali evil on and accuse them of this massive amount of taxpayer fraud and have zero evidence to support even the fraud that you're alleging, it starts racist and frankly it goes off the deep end. And they can, look, they can defend themselves. They can go out there and say it's got nothing to do with it. The thing with white supremacy is that most of the time, look, we live in a very privileged culture where most of the time, most of us don't know how privileged we are. And a part of that is we don't know how we sustained and supported white supremacy all of our lives with very small things. It's possible to be oversensitive to it, sure. But then sometimes it's just kind of bald-faced and kind of on the face. So I cut out some clips. I pulled up some documents, and I'm just going to go at it until it's done.
So
It's
this is going to be live tonight, right?
Doing live. I didn't have nearly enough time to record and edit. I'm like, we're just going to kind of do this kind of sloppy, and then I'll clean it up later if I have time. So that's
Okay, I'll be watching. Watching.
That sounds that sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
We need to send it to the right people too, so they get the message.
Yep. I'll tell you what's interesting to me about going through it. Some of the rhetoric, most of this white supremacist rhetoric is about anti-immigration, right? So I have to take my meds. And there's a lot of this replacement theory that goes into this, the great replacement theory. And they're just echoing it. They're just repeating it, put new words to it, and just, it's just all great replacement theory. And one of the things that kept coming up for these Mormons talking about this is about how we don't want that. This is them saying this, that we don't want immigrants coming into the places where we live and suddenly becoming voters here and changing all of our laws to suit their religion. And so we just want to drive them out and send them back where they came from, is this rhetoric. And I just can't help but see the irony that they're not catching here, that this sounds like Missouri in 1838. If you put the word slavery anywhere in there or states' rights anywhere in there, and this is the exact reversal. This is the Mormons have now taken the place of the Missourians and persecuting the immigrants who've come into, Caldwell County. And so, I mean, it's stunning to me to see how the numbers change. All of a sudden, the rhetoric switches. Whoever has more numbers, whoever is already there, whoever is the native population, not native, but nativist, that community is going to persecute the incomers, the guys coming in. And once upon a time, the Mormons were the immigrants. Now that it's somebody else, they're turning on them. And
there you go. And we're going to hear it all in 20 minutes.
That's right.
All right.
Joe of CoreHor.org. Thanks for coming on. We're going to sign out really quick too.
Sounds good.
Close to the end of the year. Everybody have a great last couple of days. Have a good new year.
Safe new year.
Next year. All righty.
We'll see you next year.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.